house. Oh, hope you had a great first day of school yesterday, and we're going to keep rocking and rolling. Today we're going to do number 8 and 9, because yesterday you learned about positive and negative exponents, and then we'll do the back, okay? I'm doing most of this Staar for you, so you should be getting a good grade on this if you're watching. So let's go to number 8. And a magical whiteboard appears, and we are rocking and rolling. Okay, the first thing you want to do, there's 2 ways to do this. We're going to do it the add-subtract way first. So what you want to do is punch this into the calculator. You'd punch -2 over 6, and you would get -1/3. So I know that my number is going to be -1/3. Now then we're going to write down the other letters, okay? Whoa, sorry about that, because this, I messed up here, okay? Because we have negative exponents. Okay, so let's just look at the numbers right here, and let's rewrite it without negative exponents. Remember, a negative exponent means I'm going to flip the base across the fraction bar. So I'm going to draw a fraction bar here, and I'm only looking at the numbers, okay? So my -2 should be on the bottom, and it should have an exponent of 4, and my 6 should be on the top. It should have an exponent of 2. Now then, punch this into the calculator. 6 squared is 36, and 2 to the 4th is 16, but it's going to be negative. Remember, the negative doesn't get the exponent because it's not in parentheses. So this would simplify to negative 16 over 36 would be divided by 2, 18 over 8, divided by 2, 9 over 4, -9/4. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. So my numbers are going to be -9/4. If you were to punch what I have circled in the calculator, it should give you -9/4. Now then, let's write down our x, and we have x as -5 minus 2. Remember, you're doing the top minus the bottom. The top exponent minus the bottom. Then we're going to write down our y, 3 minus 6. Then we're going to write down our z, and we're going to do -2 minus -5. Notice we have 2 negatives here, don't we? Now then, we're going to simplify our add and subtract. The -9/4 won't change. Okay, -5 minus 2 is a -7. 3 minus 6 is a -3. And -2 minus a -5, that's going to be -2 plus 5, that's going to be a +3. Okay, now then the negative exponents go on the bottom, the positive exponents stay on the top, and I'm going to put my answer up here. So I'm going to have negative fraction bar. I know I have 9/4. The x to the 7 is going to go to the bottom. The y to the -3 will go to the bottom. And the z to the 3 will go to the top. So this right here would be my answer. You have never done this before. It's going to take some time to get used to this. You don't want to write it with any negative exponents. Remember, you've never done this before. You got to do the work I'm giving you to get the repetition down. Let's go to number 9. This is going to be kind of simpler because we're just going to simplify this and make the negative exponents positive. So the first thing you want to do, you can punch this into the calculator. If you punch 3 to the -2, the answer is going to be 1/9. Then the x to the 4th has a positive exponent in it. It stays on the top. The y to the -3 has a negative exponent. It goes to the bottom. Take out the 1. This would be the answer. So all you're doing, to make a negative exponent a positive, you move it across the fraction bar. That's what a negative exponent does. Let's go to the next one. We got to distribute that -3. Okay, so we're going to have -2 to the -3, and this is in parentheses. Then we're going to have x, -4 times -3. I'm going to put -3 up here. So -4 times -3 is a +12. -3 times a +2 is a -6. And then -3 times a +5 is a -15. Okay? Now then, punch this into the calculator. Do your number with the calculator. So if you were to punch -2 to the -3 in the calculator, the -2 is in a parentheses, you would this would actually be what's going to happen. Jiminy crickets. The negative would be counted 3 times. So you would have 3 -2's on the bottom. That's going to be a negative in it. So my number is going to be -1/8. and then my x to the 12 will stay at the top, my y to the 6 will go to the bottom, and my z to the 15th will go to the bottom. Take out the 1, and this right here would be my answer. So negative x to the 12th all over 8y to the 6, z to the 15th. It's brand new stuff. All the stuff you were learning this spring will be brand new. You've got to do the work I'm giving you to get the repetition down. Message me if you have trouble with this. This is going to take some repetition to get used to. Let's turn the page. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, so we're going to go to 17. I'm not going to do this whole top row for you. Hopefully you got this down. This is like a huge concept right here, what you're doing. You're going from a verbal description to an equation. You're getting the intercepts, then you're graphing the line. You're getting the domain and range, okay? So Bubba Bob has $12. That's our starting number. Each shrimp costs 80 cents. That's our growing number. Write the equation that shows the money left. So he's spending his money. So negative 0.8x plus 12. So every time he spends 80 cents, he's losing money, right? Every shrimp costs 80 cents. The slope of the line is negative 0.8, and it represents $0.8 per shrimp. And remember, you get this right here, function of money as a function of the number of shrimp. So this right here would be our y per x in it. Your slope is always y per x. Now that if you do 12 divided by 0.8, and let's go through and do this, 12 divided by 0.8, you get 15. So he could get 15 shrimp with that, right? So the y-intercept would be 12. That's your starting amount. The x-intercept's 15. 15 shrimp equals $0, right? And the 12 would be the starting amount of cash, right? Ho, 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 ho. Okay, now then you would graph this. You would put 12 up here. You would put 15 down here. And then you would connect the dots and put 0 right here. This would be, so your y's would be dollars. Your x would be shrimp. And this right here would be your domain. And this right here would be your range, wouldn't it? So you would be able to graph your domain and range. Not going to do that for you. Let's go to number 20. This is a coin problem, okay? Got to remember how much a coin's worth. Okay, so we're going to have a coin equation and a money equation. So we have dimes and quarters. That's going to be x and y. Remember, we're always going to use x and y because that's what we're going to plug in the calculator. So we have 68 dimes and quarters. So our coin equation will be x plus y equals 68. That's how many coins we have. The x is the dimes. A dime is worth 10 cents, and we don't need to put the 0, do we? So just 0.1x plus the quarter is worth 25 cents, and the total amount of money is $13.10 or 13.1. You would punch that in the calculator. How many of each coin does he have? So you would put dimes and put x equals dimes, y equals quarters. Put equal blank, punch this. Remember, do menu 3 to enter. Menu 3 to enter, type those in the calculator, hit enter, bam, you get your quarters and dimes. Should be able to do that. You've got to have a calculator this semester. You've got to have a calculator. If you need a calculator on your computer, let me know. I will give you the directions for that. You've got to have a calculator. You've got to have a calculator. Make sure you have a calculator this semester. Number 21. Okay, Emma Sue is an expert three-point shooter. Given their total points depends on the baskets made, identify the range of the numbers. So basically you're taking these numbers, multiplying them by 3 and writing them down here. Okay, so just multiply the numbers by 3 and write down your answers. That would be the points, right? Okay, I'm going to let you do 22 on your own. 23. Over here to the right, write down y equals negative 3x minus 1. Okay, so I solved that for y. That's what my y is, and I'm going to plug that right in here. I'm going to show you how to do this one. 4x plus 3, parentheses, negative 3x minus 1. So I'm substituting, aren't I? So I'm taking that y and I'm replacing it with negative 3x minus 1. Notice the only letter I have in my equation is x. I could solve it for x. So I'm going to distribute the 3, and I'm going to get 4x minus 9x minus 3 equals 7. 4x minus 9x is negative 5x. Move the 3 over. I get 10. Divide by negative 5, and I'm going to get x equal negative 2, aren't I? Then I'm going to take that negative 2 and put it right here. And I'm going to get 6 minus 1, which is 5. So my ordered pair would be negative 2, comma 5. That would be my answer, wouldn't it? Ho, 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 ho. You must be able to substitute and eliminate if you go into pre-AP geometry or pre-AP algebra 2. Got to be able to do that by hand. Do not go into those classes and not be able to do this by hand. Number 24, we're going to eliminate. Okay, so I know the opposite of positive 4 is a negative 4. I'm going to multiply this top equation by 2. So I'm going to get 14x minus 4y equals negative 14, and my y's are opposites, aren't they? My y's will eliminate. That's why it's called elimination. So 1x plus 14x is 15x. Negative 31 minus 14 is negative 45. Divide by 15, and I will get x equals negative 3. That's my x in it. Now then I'm going to take this equation because it's simpler, and then replace the x with negative 3 plus 4y equals negative 31. Move over the negative 3. 4y equals negative 28. Divide by 4. And my y would end up being negative 7. The ordered pair would be 3 comma negative 3 comma negative 7. Ho, 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 ho. Got to be able to do those by hand. Replay it if you need to. I'm trying to not make these videos last too long. Got to be able to substitute and eliminate. On a word problem, generate the equation and use the calculator. By hand, you've got, if they give you the equations, do it by hand, please. Let's go to 25. Same thing on this one. We're going to get the equations and use the calculator. Okay. Baba Bob, Emma Sue, and Jiminy John go to Broussard's Boudin hut. Gonna get some Boudin. Baba Bob gets 3 beef Boudin balls and 2 pork Boudin balls for $10.20. So this is going to be my x, the beef Boudin, and the y will be my pork Boudin, right? So 3x plus 2y equals 10.2. Jiminy John gets 2 beef, which is x, and 4 pork, which is y, for $11.60. So we have 2x plus 4y equals 11.6. You will put that in the calculator, write down x equal y equal, and then your answer is going to be 6 times the x plus 6 times the y. You're going to add that up and get your total amount for 6 beef and 6 pork, okay? So what you get on the calculator won't be the answer. You got to multiply the x by 6, the y by 6, and get your answer, okay? Ho, 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 ho. Let's go to number 26. Do not forget how to do these. Draw a picture on 26. So let's draw an XY axis. Okay, it goes through 2 comma 5. So write 2 up 5. And it is parallel to the x-axis. So if it's parallel to the x-axis, it's going to do this in it. So that blue line goes to the y-axis. This is my x, this is my y. The y is 5 in it. So the equation of the line is y equals 5, and a y equal line has a 0 slope. So draw a picture of that, write down the slope. If it were perpendicular to the x, it would be, or if it were perpendicular to the x, it would be x equal, right? So just because it's parallel to the x-axis doesn't mean it goes to the x-axis. You got to read it and draw that picture. Let's go to number 27. Okay, on this one right here, it's perpendicular to this line. So we're going to get our slope. So negative a over b, this would be our slope, won't it? And we want a perpendicular slope, so we're going to flip it and switch the sign, the opposite reciprocal, and get 8 over 3. That's our slope in it. This will be our x, this will be our y. Write it in standard form. So we're going to plug this into point slope and switch it. If you've been doing this all fall, it is not hard. This is the hardest thing you did in the fall. Okay, so let's write this down. We're going to have y, the opposite of a negative 7 is plus 7, equals the slope's 8 over 3, parentheses x minus 8. Boom. I just plugged it in a point slope. I need to switch this to standard. So I'm going to distribute my 3 in my denominator. The denominator goes to the left, and the numerator goes to the right. Kind of an easy way to remember that. So we're going to have 3y plus 21 equals 8x minus 64. And we want standard form. So we're going to move the 21 over. And we'll have 3y equals 8x minus 85. Now then, if I want y-intercept, I would divide by 3. If I want standard, I'm going to move the 8x. So I'm going to take my 8x and move it over, and I'll get negative 8x plus 3y equals negative 85. Since my x is negative, I got to switch the signs. So 8x minus 3y equals 85 is going to be my standard form. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Oh, let's go to 28. Okay, on this one right here, if it says varies directly, it's proportional. Okay, so let's get our y over x. Okay, the price, y, varies directly with the malt size. So the y is the price, and the x is the size. We're going to make a proportion out of this. So the money is $3.36 over 12. If I divided this, this would be my K, wouldn't it? Now then, we want to find the total cost of the 3 malts. So we're going to get a 12-ounce malt, a 16-ounce malt, and a mega size 40. Oh. If I add those up, 28 plus 40, I'm getting 68 ounces of malt. And I want to know what all that's going to cost. So my malt, my size is on the bottom, and I'm going to put my y right here, aren't I? So I'm going to multiply and divide, aren't I? If you go back to junior high, you're going to do the bat and the ball right here. You're not going to do that anymore because that's not what we're teaching to do. So you would cross multiply 12y equals, let's go to the calculator, 3.36 times 68. And you would get 228.48, and then divide that by 12. And you would get y equals, divide by 12, $19.04. Ho, 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 ho. Just like in 6th grade, okay? Varies directly, it's just like a 6th grade math problem. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I've done almost this whole Staar review for you. Make sure you sign it. You should be able to get 5 extra points on this. Turn it in on Friday instead of Monday. Bam, you get a 105 to start the 4th 6 weeks off. This 6 weeks is going to be the hardest 6 weeks of school. Make sure you're watching the videos. Message me if you need help. Attend the Zoom sessions on Tuesday and Thursday. Remember, you are amazing. You are wonderful. You are created to do wonderful things. And you are awesome.